Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Heaven on Earth Astrology. I'm Michael, the Leo Mystic, and this is where we observe the rhythm of the heavens to speak the language of the soul. This is the astrological forecast for the 10th of October until the 16th. Post full moon in Aries, technically still happening right now on Monday. And how did that feel for you? It was for us quite a very soft full moon in Aries. I think it has to do with the fact that it is happening in our 9th house, which is pretty good house. But, um, I think a lot of healing happened, and I'm just curious to hear your story as to how a certain wound, a certain pain got healed, and where you had a realization on what to do, how to act, what to proceed with. Now this week, um, we kind of continue on the Martian, which is Aries, is ruled by Mars. It's the warrior, the actions that we take, and I think the reason why this full moon in Aries being super intense, but is not felt as much by many, has to do with this Mars square Neptune. Because Mars here is in Gemini, in shadow. There's so much going on. Let me start by saying that Mars in Gemini is actively seeking for answers, is actively seeking for the truth, and kind of can not stay cool under pressure, and just wants to like find an answer right now, and at least it like maybe even two answers, that there's a certainty that everything's going to be fine. So, but it is squaring Neptune. So that in and of itself is looking in the dark, and it is missing a lot of information. It might do something in devotion of, only to then be disillusioned, be deceived with the outcome, because it had something different in mind. Now, something positive. Well, I mean, Mercury was in shadow period, or is still in shadow period, and in Virgo, so it is at home in Virgo. So that was okay. Now it comes into a sign, Libra, Mercury, the mind. We come into from a very like, let's be practical, into a let's relate, let's seek some balance, and let's try to maintain the status quo. Let's try to maintain peace, but let's make sure that everybody is equal, that they have the same rights. And we got Mercury, Venus, and Sun in Libra. So that is an energy that is quite strong. But Venus is kind of like in its inferior conjunction, meaning that it is not visible. So it is harder for us to access all the Venusian qualities of, love and beauty, and harmony. It's there, but it is harder to access. And there's definitely, under the beams, as the ancients used to say, it always used to go with some certain loss, a loss of communication, a loss of friend, something that is lost. And I'm just curious to see if that is going to be happening. I definitely, there's this energy of Mars squaring Neptune, where it's just the inability to act, the inability to make a decision. With Mars and Gemini, we're already like, what's it gonna be? And we're just, it's that never-ending search, because even if we find some truth, and even if we find the answer, it just never stops. Now, what Neptune is teaching here, it's a first quarter square with Neptune. Mars and Neptune have everything to do with being honest. Honest in your actions, right? And with Mars and Gemini, it is, are you implementing your words? Are you doing what you say? And well, with a square over to Neptune, that's the invitation to do what you say. But with a square over to Neptune, it is, can you be truly aligning your actions not just with your own truth, but can you align your own truth with a truth that is deeper from within? Not just, I know the truth, you know, I know, I know, and it's not I just know, it's really, it's guidance, it's spiritual guidance. And we're all being taught, especially with Libra season, there's so many messages around us right now. There's people coming on our path that are showing us, that are mirroring us, the truth that lies within us and the truth that we have to align with. Messages, birds, you know, certain events, number plates, whatever, are like, these are like the very obvious ones, but just so much deeper than that, you know, just encounterings with people that are just so profound, and where you're like, this cannot be coincidence, you know, this is just a pure signal. And that to me right now is happening. But with Mars and Gemini square Neptune, we have, you know, a certain kind of, I don't know if this is true, man, like I gotta keep searching and I just gotta keep doing, and this is all bullshit, you know. So I think the beauty though of Mercury in Libra here, and there's going to be an alignment of the Sun and Venus with Neptune in a septile aspect, and that here is a certain kind of observation energy that we have, and a certain alignment with taking in the images, taking in the messages, and to receive the messages. That is happening on Tuesday, Wednesday, actually, you know, pretty much all week. First with Sun, then with Venus and Neptune. And Venus and Neptune are all about unconditional love. So there is a certain love, a certain unconditional love being manifested, a certain receiving, right, of earthly love, and a realization of, or just an unconditional love being felt. But now the invitation of when you have observed and when you have received and when there's this love felt, Mars in Gemini square Neptune, which is going to be there for a long time and is in its shadow period. So we are missing the messages. We are running away from, you know, reality. We're escaping reality because we don't want to see the truth. And it's going to go retrograde very soon, meaning we're going to have to redo the lesson. We're going to have to, you know, see that the number plate or the bird or the person was really trying to tell us something. And why not listen in the first place? So I would, my advice would be to take these messages as a true message. And we got to keep in mind that the Sun and Venus are trining Saturn. And as I have said in, you know, my previous forecast, this is, we have to focus on the long term. We can't go too fast. We can't go like, okay, you know, this is what it means, so I have to do this. No, you know, we have to observe, we have to allow, and we have to then start implementing with a bigger future in mind. And that's the invitation. It's not, you know, all of a sudden quick fix, oh yes, this is what it means, so I'm going to go all in. That's the Mars square Neptune that is going to have to deceive you. That's the devotion that you have, and the energy that's going to put you on wrong tracks. But it is following the message, and it is implementing with a future in mind. And everything is just, you know, a little bit slower. these days, because there's still so many planets retrograde. Pluto came direct, which just increased the intensity, which increased the transformation, which increased a sense of power as well. So it's not all negative. But, you know, that's, I think, the most important message that I can give you this week with this Mars square in Neptune. It's an alignment of actions with a bigger truth, which is being honest with yourself. And I always tell the story that Carolyn Mees tells. I mean, just passing on the story. And, you know, she always says that, well, there's a story that she tells where there's a lady that receives a message after seeing an accident that she has to go put her hands on that person and that the person will be healed. And then she can make two decisions. And, you know, the decision that she makes, like, oh no, what are the people going to think of me? You know, and I can do this. What if this happens? What if that? But instead, the second choice could be that you trust the guidance and you just go put the hands on the person, no matter what other people think of you. This is a higher guidance. This is a deeper knowing, right? And you just follow that guidance. And I think that week is truly, this week is truly the invitation to do that. Not without, you know, again, blind devotion, but deep trust, deep knowing. And we got to stay in our center. We have to, in order to trust yourself, you know, you have to be fully here in your heart, mind, heart, gut aligned, all 7, 8 chakras aligned, and the courage to do so, and not just from the head acting, you know. And I'm just going to keep saying it. Alignment means that when you live in tune with the cycles of nature, that's a higher guidance. Our heart, our brain, our emotions, our breath, they're all designed, our body is designed to be fully in alignment mathematically with the cycles of Mother Earth and the planets and the great cycles of the ages. It's all in the math. And when we do so, when we can only do so when we are calm, when we control our breath consciously, when we allow the full spectrum of emotions, when there is light and dark, and that we can see, we can enlighten the whole spectrum. And that, you know, that's it. It's bringing light to the whole spectrum. It is and darkness and light, and bring light to all of that. That's a paradox. But to be able to allow our emotions, to be able to experience them and use them as energy in motion, to control the breath consciously, and to align breath and heart with heart-brain coherence, and just eat healthy, and, you know, all those things. And when we do that, then we are truly in our center, and then we are truly in alignment with a divine order that has made the universe spin, or made the universe expand, and made the solar system spin, you know, and Earth spin, and all the other planets spin. So, but made this an invitation that you trust truly the guidance, that you open, that you receive, that you look up what it means, that you speak to other people, that you listen. Mercury in Libra is about listening. Venus in Libra is about listening. And Venus behind the sun means that all the qualities of relationships, love, and money are really have to be found within. They're not necessarily very much alive outside right now. They are energetically resetting a whole new value system around what that harmony means in relationships, money, and love. So that's, yeah. I could go on, but I think that's it, man. Sending you so much love. Let me know what your most favorite aspect is of this week, and or what your favorite day is. See you next week. Take care. Bye bye.